Hello and welcome to the Lesbian Lounge podcast. It sounds so crazy saying that. Oh my god, that is the first time I've really said it out loud. So yeah, welcome to the Lesbian Lounge podcast, previously known as Live, Laugh, Love Lesbian, but we are now the Lesbian Lounge. We're a podcast for the girls who like girls, the girlies, the gays, the theys, anybody who is a little bit gay in any sort of way. Well, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Welcome in, welcome back. If this is your first episode, you're not going to know any different. You're just going to know the Lesbian Lounge. But if you're a long time listener, you will have previously known us as Live, Laugh, Love Lesbian. But yeah, we've had a rebrand and we are now the Lesbian Lounge, which just feels right. Like, I feel like last week when I was talking to you all and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to change the name or not. I feel like in my heart, I knew that I wanted to change the name. It felt like the right thing to do. Had a lot of feedback from followers, from our Lesbian Lounge group chat members, from family, from friends, from my girlfriend, and it just felt like the Lesbian Lounge, it feels more scalable. It feels like I can take that further, and it just feels a bit classier. So I'm really, really glad I took that leap, that made that decision to change the name. So I appreciate all my lovely listeners who have stuck with me through the change. Obviously, I've had to change the Instagram, the TikTok, the Linktree, like everything has had to change. The podcast is currently like going through some updates too, like I'm going to have new graphics for it all and everything like that. So bear with me for some things, like not everything's going to be able to change within 1 week, but hopefully over the next few weeks and months, you will see some really, really key and positive changes for the pods. I'm just literally like, I'm just sat here smiling because I just feel so happy knowing that like this was the right decision for the podcast, and I hope you all love the name as much as I do. Obviously, we also have our group chat now, the Lesbian Lounge. I wonder if I should change the name of that because now they just have the same name. But we have our group chat on Instagram called the Lesbian Lounge. So come and join the Lesbian Lounge group chat and you can get podcast exclusives every week. I send in like our little about the podcast episode, like a little video clip. I send that in the day before, so you get a little sneak peek as to what's coming in the episode. We have we have polls for what the question of the week should be and lots of other exciting and exclusive bonuses to that group chat. So make sure to come over to Instagram and join us over there. You can find the podcast on Instagram. I'm going to hope I get this right because I've only recently changed it. I'm sure now we are the same on Instagram and TikTok, which is thelesbianlounge.podcast, and then my personal Instagram and TikTok, and it's my personal Instagram where you can find the Lesbian Lounge, and that is Juliet Francis T. But as per always, everything will be linked in the description of the podcast, so you can come over and find us, join the group chat, and get all of those exciting and exclusive updates. Yeah, isn't this just crazy, sitting here as the Lesbian Lounge podcast? We also have a new logo coming soon. I'm working with a really fab, I guess a graphic designer, is that what they're called? A designer. She is designing the logo for us and she has done the most amazing job, and she's been so patient with me because we've literally been on so many different ends of so many different spectrums. We've tried so many different logos, like different fonts, different colours, different photos, we've had so many different ones. Like the difference between them all is insane. But I just want to make sure that I get it absolutely perfect for you all. So I really hope when it's ready, I'm hoping it'll be ready by the time that the episode comes out, so you can all see our lovely new logo. But if not, it's coming soon. There's lots of really exciting changes to make. I'm hoping to make a little Lesbian Lounge in my house. We have quite a deep wardrobe that's not in use in our bedroom. It used to be like sort of like a working office space. And currently in there's just a chest of drawers. So we're thinking, this was actually my girlfriend's idea as well. We're thinking of taking out the chest of drawers and sort of decking that wardrobe out as the Lesbian Lounge. And then when I'm not podcasting, we just close the wardrobe doors and it's not taking up any extra space in the house. So it's coming. It's not going to be yet, things are going to take time to get absolutely perfect. But yeah, same with the logo. I just want it absolutely perfect before I share it with you all. But fingers crossed, hopefully by the time this episode comes out, it will be with you. If not, it will be within the next week. But things like, the setup and everything like that, it's going to take some time, but I just can't explain to you all how grateful I am that, you're sticking with me through this and being on that journey. I think, it's going to be really fun when we're, a really big podcast, and people can be like, I've listened since the beginning. And that's one thing I, appreciate as well. And I've really had to tell it to myself this week, because I've been struggling a little bit. Like, I'm enjoying this journey that we're on, like, groveling to, and putting in that work. I just really hope it all pays off eventually. But yeah, I'm sure it will. And we have already had so many incredible things happen. Obviously, working with Tinder and so many other exciting brands, and so many exciting brands coming up that I can't quite tell you about yet. But there are exciting things coming, and I just have to remind myself that on weeks when there's not as many responses to questions of the week, and not as many dilemmas being sent in, and not as much interaction, I have to remember that I'm only so near the start of this journey. I don't have a massive following already. I think a lot of people who start podcasts are already influencers, or they're already big names, whereas I'm not. I'm literally coming to this from 5,000 followers on Instagram, and I think I might have 5,000 on TikTok. So, we're not coming to it from being a big name already. So all of the listeners I'm finding is completely organically, they're not just coming because they already follow me. It's because, I'm putting in the work to find the listeners. So if you're here, just know I am so, so grateful. But yeah, let's get into some updates and then into some questions of the week and dilemmas, because since I've been putting in all of this work getting the TikToks out, we have had quite a few more sent in, so I'm really grateful to everyone who sent something in. But yeah, update wise, apart from changing the name of the podcast, there's not a lot that's been going on in my life. I was in London over the weekend at the North London Derby, which was so exciting. It was 5-0 and it was an unreal match. We had incredible seats, we were club level, which I always prefer to sit if I can. I just find you're queuing for a bit less time at the bar and for a wee. The toilets are a little bit nicer. There's a few freebies included. You get a free programme. There was free beer, there was free Pepsi, there was free bottles of water. It feels like a bit of a nicer experience. So if I can, I'll always try and sit club level. And it was just such a good match. We had an incredible view, so I could see all my favourite players. And of course, lesbian spotting. We did lots of lesbian spotting. It's my favourite game. I just love looking around being they're definitely dating. They're definitely fucking. My friend's ex was there, which was funny. She texted me my ex is there, and I was like, fuck off. To the ex, not to my friends. Yeah, it was just a really, really nice match day experience. Of course, getting to see Arsenal win 5-0 was great, because last time we went to the North London Derby, they only won 1-0, and I missed the only goal because they took too long to cook my veggie burger. So I got to see all 5 goals in their prime this time. Of course, we got to see Chloe Kelly come back onto the pitch, which has been a long time since she's played, because she's been on the bench for Man City. So getting to see Chloe Kelly make her, it wasn't her debut because she used to play for Arsenal, but her re-debut for Arsenal, that was really, really fun to witness. And it was just good vibes all around. I really genuinely find women's football is one of the safest spaces for me. It's one of the places that I feel completely comfortable, holding hands with my girlfriend, having a kiss, just completely being ourselves and not worrying about if people are looking at us and thinking what the fuck are they doing? So I'm really, really grateful to have found the women's football community, because it genuinely is one of the places that I feel really safe and that I can just authentically be me. Another fun football update. I have joined the team, and this might cause some controversy because I've just been talking about a different football club. But I have joined the team of Newcastle United Fans TV. So this is a team, and I think it's only men before I joined. So I think I'm their first women's presenter, and I've done my first podcast episode with them, and also some fun little videos for YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. And I know it's probably going to cause some controversy of people being oh, you can't support 2 football teams. But I just think, why not? Newcastle United are in the Championship. Arsenal women are in the WSL. They're not competing against each other. So why can't I support 2 teams who just, want to achieve wonderful things and not be competing against each other? So for the time being, whilst Arsenal and Newcastle United women are in different leagues, I will be supporting them both. But yeah, I've joined the team over at Newcastle United Women TV. I think it's called NUFC TV. NUF TV, I don't know. Newcastle Fans TV, we'll go with that. I've joined their team, did my first podcast, and it was so much fun. Being on like a different podcast, just again getting to chat all things football. Obviously, you guys know me, like I love football, but I don't know football. Like I've never really played. I've never played. We played like a few times at school. I don't know like football terminology, but it's really fun and I've already feel like I've learned so much. So big shout out to Lee from Newcastle Fans TV for having me on, taking a chance on this little podcast girly who just, wants to make it big as a presenter and as a podcast host. So yeah, that is super, super fun. I don't really think I have anything else exciting to update you all on. Obviously our Tinder advert is live, so if you haven't seen the advert Taylor and I did with Tinder, that is available on TikTok and Instagram on Tinder's profiles and my own, so make sure to go and have a little look and hear all about our Tinder love story. But I think it's about time, guys, that we get straight on into this week's episode, so let's jump into our question of the week. Here we go, let's bring up our question of the week. And this week's question of the week, quite fitting with mine and Taylor's Tinder advert, is where did you meet your partner? So let's read out some of your guys' responses. We met through a mutual friend and then met at the National Gallery in London. What like a cute first date that must have been at the National Gallery. I love that. I haven't met mine yet. I sadly have to stay in the closet. That actually breaks my heart that like people so actively, like you have so much love inside of you and all you want to do is like give someone this love, but you can't because of like fear of, what parents or family or friends are going to say. So I'm sending love to you, and I know that the right time will come where you feel safe enough to come out and your lovely girlfriend or partner will be there waiting for you with arms wide open. We met on TikTok. I feel like a lot of people are meeting on TikTok. Like Taylor works with a lesbian who met her girlfriend on TikTok. Like, it's the place to be. And to be fair, I do always see a lot of lesbians shopping in the comments. Like, you see someone make a bit of like a thirst trap video or, like masks, like just showing off, or even femmes. And there's a lot of people shopping away in the comments, like finding their future girlfriend. So I feel like it's probably really highly up there. Like, if you were to look at the statistics of where people, I don't even think just lesbians, like I think just people in general, if you were to look at the statistics of where people met in like 2024 and 2025, I feel like TikTok is going to be up there. I feel like the least likely place to meet your girlfriend nowadays is just like bumping into them. Like I feel like I would say the majority is like online, TikTok, Tinder, dating apps, things like that. But let's keep reading your guys' responses and see what is going to be like the most common place to meet your girlfriend. We went to the same college and she held the doors open for me, not knowing who I was or if I was a lesbian, and told everyone that in her head I'm her girlfriend and called me beautiful. And then we spoke and went from there. That's so cute. So like, even though you didn't like know each other were gay, like she was, going out of her way to do nice things for you, and then obviously you realised that you were both gay and now you're dating. I love that. We met at an audition. Let me just flip over, I have some more over here. She was my barista. I kept ordering the most complicated drinks just so I could keep talking to her. I love that. Have you ever seen, like, I feel like it's probably like a fantasy, but like you go to Starbucks, you give them your name, and then like on the cup they've like written their number. I feel like that probably wouldn't happen in real life, but that would be really cute if it did. We were both crying in the bathroom at the club, trauma bonding at its finest. No way. And now you're dating. Like, imagine like in the girls' toilet on a club night out, like you're having a cry, she's having a cry, you're like, are you okay? And she's like, no, like my ex has like done this, and you're like, oh my god, no way, like my ex has done this, and then you both realise, oh my god, what the hell was that? Did you all hear that? Fear my cat's being naughty out there. Oh well. Like, you both bonded over this trauma, realised you both are into girls, and then got together. That is iconic. I love that. She was my roommate's straight friend. Guess she wasn't that straight. I love that. I feel like there's such this thing of like lesbians falling for like straight girls, but like, are they actually straight, or do they just look straight, or have they just never actually been with a woman before, but they're very much gay? Oh my god, my earring. My earring was just stuck on my jumper. Did I tell you guys as well? I got my second holes pierced. I've wanted it done for ages, and then when we were in London, I was like, I'm just going to be impromptu and go and get them pierced. So I have my second holes pierced, and I'm already loving having like a big earring and then like a little earring next door. So very happy with that, even though it did fucking hurt. Like it was a needle, like it was a proper like, it wasn't like a Claire's gun, it was like a needle in like a tattoo shop. But fuck, it hurt. I was like, she was like, okay, ready, 1, 2, 3. And I was like really like, it wasn't an awful pain, but it got me thinking, like, I don't think, obviously this is like the easiest place to pierce, I think it's the cartilage. But when you get higher up the ear and you're going through like thicker ear, I don't really think you've got bones in your ear, but you know, like the thicker parts of the ear, that's going to hurt. And I thought, if that hurt, I don't think I could ever get a tattoo, because that's like loads of little needles at once for a long time. So I don't know if I'll be getting a tattoo or any other piercings anytime soon, but I'm happy with this one. And it keeps getting stuck in my jumper. Okay, sorry, carrying on, I'm getting distracted. I commented, I want her, on a video of her, and she replied, come get me. So I did. No way. No way. That is so cute and so bold of you. But I feel like I said, like TikTok comments, like they're the place to go for a shop and find yourself a girlfriend. Like my favourite comment that I've seen was, born to ride, forced to scroll. I was literally crying. Or like, like sometimes you just gotta say damn and scroll. Like, do you take wedding applications like as the bride? Like, I love reading all these comments of people shopping in the TikTok comments, but like I didn't know if like they ever actually worked. So there we go. I want her, come get me. So I did. That is iconic. Our dogs started sniffing each other's butts at the park. Now we live together. I love that. Bonding over your dogs. That's so cute. And now your dogs can live together and be best friends. That's so sweet. She was my Uber driver, gave her 5 stars and my number. Where are you living to get female Uber drivers? Because mine are always like older men. To be fair, when I was in America, I had quite a lot of like young Uber drivers. But in the UK, it feels to be that they're all like 50 plus, which there's nothing wrong with. But like, where are you finding lesbian Uber drivers? Because that's iconic. I would like that too. My girlfriend probably wouldn't. No, she wouldn't really care. I'm not going to get with them. I just would like a lesbian Uber driver. Yeah, I love that. Gave her 5 stars and my number. My ex introduced us, so thanks for that, I guess. I mean, yeah, that's a good thing. If that's the good thing that came out of the relationship, like, yeah, the relationship was shit, but I got a new girlfriend out of it. So there you go. She was my childhood best friend. We just took a while to realise. No way. That's like, I was going to say friends to lovers, but it is, isn't it? Like, you were best friends and then you grew up to realise that actually it's more than a friendship. That is so cute. I was her TA in college. What does that mean? A teaching assistant. She slid into my DMs after she graduated. I mean, at least she waited until she graduated, because I feel like if anyone would get in trouble for you two dating, like it would be you, because you're the teacher, like you should know better. So that's really cute that she waited until after you graduated. Was that like sexual chemistry, like before, like when you were teaching, like did you have feelings but you just knew like you couldn't act on them, or did you just think it was like you just like both got on? I'd love to know like the story behind that. We were both fangirling over the same sapphic book in a book club. Love that, iconic. I saw her wearing a frog bucket hat at Pride. Instant love, very cute. Her Tinder bio said, not actually looking, just here for the memes. Now we're engaged. That is so iconic. I never remember what my Tinder bio said. I remember Taylor's. Taylor said, just going to get tattoos count as dates, or count as a date. And I thought, that's so fucking sexy. Swipe right. Mine probably said something stupid like, Juliet. How old was I when I was on Tinder? Like 19? 19. Dancer. I love Disney. Like it's something stupid, but somehow Taylor still swiped for me. But I love that. Now you're engaged. Congrats. She was my work rival. Then we had one too many after work drinks. Oh my God, that's so cute. That's an enemies to lovers storyline, isn't it? I love it. Met at a lesbian date night event. Neither of us went with intention, but here we are. There you go. I mean, sometimes you just have to go to these things like not expecting anything out of them and just like going for the vibes. I've seen, was it G.IRL, like Girl Events? Is it them who host the like lesbian dating nights, and they do like a lesbian bingo? So you like go around the room and you like check things off your bingo list, and then they like take all of your, I don't really know how it works, but somehow they manage to like match you with people who've like put similar answers to you, which I think is really cute. Yeah, I love that you got together. She kept beating me at Mario Kart, so I had to date her out of spite. That's so funny. Taylor always beats me at Mario Kart. We haven't actually played on our Switch in ages. We bought it, I think, like last Christmas, and we probably played it about once recently, but we should do that more often. I was her bartender. She kept flirting, but never tipped well. I still married her. Wonder if you're the bartender from earlier. I love that. Even though she didn't tip you well, you kept flirting, and now you're married. Oh my God, this one's intense. She was my brother's ex. Whoops. No way. How did your brother respond to that? Like, imagine they break up, you're like just living life at home, and then one day you're like, oh, mum, dad, like, can I bring my girlfriend round? You're all sitting having family dinner, knock on the door, your brother's like, I'll answer it, and he's like, Jessica, what are you doing here? And then you're like, oh, that's my date. Like, how did that go down? You need to send in how that went down. Like, I need to know how your brother reacted, how your family reacted, because I'm assuming your family knew this person already because they dated your brother. I need to know how that family dynamic went down. But that's iconic from you. I love that. Two more. We both swiped left on Tinder, but met at a queer boot club event instead. Wow, so you both were like, no, not interested, but then you ended up meeting in person, like, on a whim. Again, that's invisible string, isn't it? Like, the universe had to bring you back together. So you met at a queer boot club event. That's really cute. Oh, that was the last one. There we go. How cute. What, like, sweet little responses, guys. I love that. Thank you all so much for sending them in. Like, sometimes I panic when there's like 2 comments on TikTok, but then I go over to Instagram and there's more over on Instagram, or some sent in like on the anonymous Google form. But yeah, please, please, please get involved with the questions of the weeks, because it's so much fun when I have more responses to share, and we have a good laugh. So I think let's jump into some dilemmas and stories and whatever else you guys have filled the inbox up with. So let's have a little look-see. My phone's being funny. It's frozen. Come on, phone. Here we go. Okay, let's jump straight on in. Juliet, I have a dilemma for you. First of all, I'm a big fan of the pod and I think you're fab. Thank you. And I'm a Les Lounge member. I love that, the Les Lounge. So this lovely lady person is from our group chat. How exciting. So let's get into their dilemma. Around 6 months ago, I got into a relationship with a girl. I'll call her Sue. We had gone on a couple of dates before she dropped a big bomb about her past. She had been engaged. Not only had she been engaged, but the reason that they didn't go through with the wedding was because Sue cheated on her fiancé. To be fair though, at least she was honest with you, like, off the get-go. Oh no, around 6 months. Oh no, a couple of dates went by. I feel like though, you would rather have heard it from her quite early on into the relationship than years down the line when this like crazy ex-fiance reaches out and is like, just seeing like Sue's popped the question to you, just so you know, last time she asked me to marry her and then she cheated on me. Like, at least she's, you know, she's told you. My dilemma is that although Sue makes me feel very secure within our relationship, for example, texting me throughout the day and reassuring me if I've ever felt insecure, and she hasn't given me any reason to doubt or not trust her, I sometimes feel like she's going to do the same thing to me, in brackets, cheat. I feel like, you know, you're saying all the right things, like she's reassuring and she's probably like learned from her past mistakes and, you know, has learned to be like more reassuring in a relationship, and especially because she knows she's told you, and, you know, you're not going to tell someone, oh, by the way, I cheated on my ex-partner, and expect them to not care and not, you know, expect them like, oh, it's not going to bother them. Like, you have to know when you're telling them that you've cheated before, like, that trust is automatically going to need like building up on like a really strong, like, I don't know what the word is, but you're going to have to really grovel to like build that trust with that person and like prove to them that you're not going to cheat on them. So I feel like the fact that, you know, she's like texting you throughout the day, like always reassuring you, like that is a positive sign that she's learned from her past mistakes. So how do I get over this feeling? I don't want to confront her about it because I feel like she's making a big effort to make me feel secured, and I don't want her to take it the wrong way and be offended. Thank you so much. Thank you for sending this in. I feel like it is quite like a difficult dilemma because, like you said, you don't really have like a reason to like bring it up to her and be like, hey, so I feel like you're going to cheat on me because you cheated on your ex-girlfriend. Like, that's not a fun conversation to have, and I don't think it's I don't think it's a necessary conversation. I think, like, I do feel like I stand, like, I'm trying to say the right thing. I don't stand by once a cheater, always a cheater. I feel like in some cases, yes, like if somebody has cheated on people in the past, they're going to continue doing it. But then I also feel like some people, they do learn from their mistakes. Like, you know, they see how much they've hurt someone. And I'm not saying I agree with cheating, but I do think a person can learn from those mistakes. So I feel like, you know, Sue is doing all of the right things. She's reassuring you. She's, you know, like checking in throughout the day when you know, maybe thinking, oh God, what's she doing? Is she getting with someone else? Like, she's giving you that reassurance. She's checking in with you. And like, I also completely understand like why you're having doubts, like why there's like a voice inside your head, like making you feel like, oh my God, is she out cheating? Is she doing this? Is she going to cheat on me? But I feel like all you can do is just trust in the relationship, like trust that Sue has like done this like inner work, inner healing, like whatever she had to do to, you know, move on from like what happened, like, and she's learning. And maybe instead of, you know, saying to like, oh, I'm scared you're going to cheat, maybe like if you feel like you're needing like more reassurance from her, you could just be like, hey babe, like could like I just have like a bit more reassurance from you, like, you know, can you just like tell me that I'm beautiful, like, you know, things like that, just like get that reassurance from her. And I don't think she's going to be offended by you telling her what you need from her, because if she is like genuinely serious about you and wants to make this work, she's going to be willing to do whatever it takes to prove to you that she's not a cheater anymore. So I think just, you know, be open and honest and be like, listen, like when you're going out at night with your friends, that's absolutely fine, but can you just keep checking in with me so I know that you're okay and I know that like nothing crazy is going down. Like, just tell her what you need. And I'm sure if she is the one for you and genuinely loves you and genuinely wants this relationship to work, she will be more than happy to like give you all the reassurance that you need. But yeah, thank you for sending that in. Thank you for being part of the Lesbian Lounge. I'm so happy to have you. Thank you. Let's move on to our next dilemma. From a very young age, in brackets, 8 years old, me and my best friend would always go around each other's houses and make out for hours. That's so fun. From 8 years old. I love that. Like, now my mum just pop into Sally's and then you're there for like hours just making out. That's so fun. When we got older, she searched up lesbian porn and we watched it together. How old were you when we got older? Okay, so you weren't still 8. That's so crazy. We used to watch it together until her mum took her iPad and found it on there. I would want to curl up in a ball. My brother also knew we were hooking up as he walked in on us, but I knew that he'd slept with my best friend's sister, so we kept each other's secrets to ourselves. That's so crazy. So wait, your brother slept with your best friend's sister. Okay, so you didn't want like maybe like your best friend or like your mum to find out about that. No, he didn't want your mum to find out about that, and you didn't want your mum to find out that you were watching lesbian porn and making out with your best friend. Fair enough, so you kept each other's secrets. That's good, well done. Where was I up to? I'm lost where I am. Her parents Her parents told her off, but not me, as I think they were feeling too awkward. I mean, I guess, yeah, like, it'd be really awkward if someone else's parents were saying to you, like, how dare you watch lesbian porn? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's none of their business, really, to tell you what you can and can't do and watch. I keep losing where I am today. After her mum found that on the iPad, we stopped and haven't done it since. To this day, we are the bestest of friends, but neither of us have brought it up and put it down to being curious as kids and claim that we're straight. I love her dearly and would give her my kidney, but I would never go there again and potentially damage our relationship. Hello? It's my girlfriend. My girlfriend, come say hey. You haven't been on the Lesbian Lounge podcast yet. You've only been on Live, Laugh, Love, Lesbian. Here's the girlfriend. I haven't actually shown the pod. This is my Valentine's present from the girlfriend. It's a cute little ring. Do you want to tell them the thought process behind getting me the cute little ring?
Well.
Oh, she's getting the old ring to show you all.
I got Juliet this ring a long time ago, actually.
Yeah, it was the first Valentine's present that you got me.
So 4 years ago.
Yeah, when we were just little online dating buddies.
Is that in focus?
It's a silver ring.
It's a silver ring, basically. Juliet doesn't wear silver jewellery anymore, so...
Apart from my new earrings.
Yeah, but that doesn't really count. So, because she doesn't wear silver jewellery anymore, I got her a new one.
And it's got like
Sparkles
in it, like coloured sparkles, because I love a bit of like sparkle and colour. Should we ask Taylor for some advice on this? So let's quickly get Taylor up to date. 8 years old, used to go to her best friend's house all the time and make out together. Then they started... 8. Then when they were older, they started watching lesbian porn together. Her mum found it, told her off. And then now they're older, they're still best friends and they don't talk about it and just put it down to be like curious as kids. And this is the bit I didn't get to. I love her dearly and would give her my kidney, but I would never go there again and potentially damage our relationship. So it's not really a dilemma, you're just kind of telling me, but would you like to give your advice?
I don't really know what advice you want in that situation. Good luck.
Oh, thanks. Good luck, babe. Good luck, babe. Okay, yeah, sorry, I'll get back into it now. So yeah, you haven't... So you would get with this girl, but you wouldn't because you don't want to damage that relationship. I think it's like, to be fair though, like I feel like I also like wouldn't really like want to talk about it all the time. And yeah, like you're just putting down to being like curious as kids, but like when you're saying that, you're obviously there like, but I am actually a lesbian, like I enjoyed that. Whereas she's maybe more just like, yeah, I was just like messing around, like da-di-da-di-da. But you know that like you would want to get with her. But I also see like why you're just like, why you're not going to go there. Because I feel like you have literally been friends since you were very young. I'm assuming you were friends before you were 8 and you started making out. But then I see how like you would literally, like you said, you would give her your kidney. Do you know what I mean? Like you have like been on this whole journey with this person, but then like you don't want to risk that all and lose that friendship for a relationship. It's difficult, isn't it? I feel like you haven't actually asked me for advice, but I'm going to give you some anyway. Like, I think you know the friendship, the relationship, like you know how far you can push it. Like if you can bring it up and talk about it or whatever you want to do, like I just hope that like your friendship survives or you have a fabulous relationship. But yeah, maybe like you were both just curious kids, like, and it made you realise, yeah, I am a lesbian. She was just being curious. Maybe she is a lesbian too, but just doesn't want to admit it. Yeah, maybe she's bisexual, whatever it is. But you were just at the time curious kids, like experimenting with each other. But now you can go and find like your true soulmate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I hope it all works out well for you. Okay. Here we go. Next one. This story is so boring, FYI. I'm sure it's not. So let's get into it. So this happened quite a while ago, but I'm still not over it. But this is the reason why me and my ex-girlfriend broke up. So she was at my house as usual, and my sister was there. We both had a few shots. Keep this in mind that we both had something to drink. So obviously I was a little bit tipsy and I was upstairs with her getting my shoes on to take her home. Hope we didn't have that many shots. Me and my sister drove her home, said goodbye, and it was all fine. But after that, things got really weird. She was barely messaging me, not ringing me, being so distant. So as anyone would, I wasn't putting loads of pressure on her to talk or anything because I figured she might just be going through something. That's very good of you, just to like give her some space, because I feel like some people would just like pester and panic that they'd done something wrong. I was still messaging her, but it was hard when she wasn't giving me much back. Then a few weeks go by and I get a message from her. It was her saying that she's annoyed at me for ignoring her all the time and she thinks we should break up. What? Where's that come from? Oh, she was annoyed at you because you were like giving her space. What? I obviously tell her my side of the story, but she won't take it. She also put it on me being tipsy and that her dad struggled with his relationship with alcohol and was annoyed that I was tipsy, even though she had the same amount as me. You're like, I'm sorry, like, yeah, your dad might be struggling with like alcohol issues, but that doesn't mean that like you can't get drunk and have a few shots. Like, if she voiced to you and said, listen, like, I want to like stay away from people drinking alcohol, fine, but like you're drinking it too. So I feel like she's just trying to find like some stupid excuses. I'm assuming she just wanted to break up with me and this was the best excuse to do so. Exactly that. So I was devastated and could never get over her, and throughout the year we would speak again and argue, and then we both apologised. Things maybe seemed like something could get back together, like we could get back together again, and then she ghosted me. This lady is crazy. That was until December of 2023 when she asked to meet me. I did. It was great. It felt like nothing had changed and she was acting as if we were still together. She said that she couldn't get a vape, so the next day I went out and got 2 for her. I messaged her to ask when I could drop them off, but she was just being so dry again. A few weeks went by and she had completely ghosted me for good. I think she snapped me once in 3 weeks. Snapchat. I thought you meant like snapped. I was like, what? Snapchat it. Okay. Where was I up to? She snapped me once in 3 weeks. And then a whole thing happened where she messaged me on a fake account, slagging me off, saying all this shit to me. I accused her and said I knew it was her, but she denied it all. She had messaged me a couple of times since and views my TikTok profile here and there, but apart from that, there's nothing. I know this is not a very interesting or exciting story, but she was my first love and it's taken me years to get over her. I just still want an explanation as to why she broke up with me in the first place. That is not boring or not interesting at all. But I feel like you are so much better off without that person in your life. Like, so much better off without that person. Like, the fact that she just, like, you were together, you took her home, and then she just instantly went cold with you. You gave her some space, she got mad at you for giving her space, but then I feel like if you didn't give her space, she'd be like, I just need some space. Like, this person clearly needs to do some, like, mental work, some inner healing, and, you know, get herself back on the right track. But I feel like you are so much better off without this person in your life. So you just need to let her do what she's doing. She can view your TikTok profile. You don't need to be seeing what she's up to. You need to move on and get with someone mentally sane. But yeah, don't ever apologise for that story not being interesting, because I find it very interesting. Thank you so much for sending it in. Shall we do one more? We actually have had like a few more sent in whilst I've been filming. But yeah, let's do one more for today and then I'll say some for next week. Okay, here we go. Once upon a time, I was in school and I went into the girls' changing rooms for PE and everyone kind of looked at me like I was a monster because I'd just come out as lesbian. And then not even an hour later, I got pulled into my head of year's office and someone had filed a complaint about me saying that I was looking at all the girls and now I'm banned from the changing rooms because I make people feel uncomfortable. You taking the fucking mic? That, you know what? That is why I fear I was like so scared to like embrace my sexuality at school, even though I wasn't like sure if I was gay, but like I knew I liked girls. I liked to look at girls. I thought they were very attractive. I feel like that is why people are scared to come out, because there's fucking psychos out there who are going to be like, oh, she looked at me funny. It's like, where are my eyes meant? Like, we're all getting changed. Am I meant to stare at the floor or the seat? Like, do you know what I mean? You have to be looking somewhere. That is insane. And the fact that the school banned you from the changing rooms, like, I have never heard of that. I feel like the school really let you down in that situation. Like, they didn't hear your side of the story. They just, like, it's not even like you fucking did anything. Like, maybe you had a glance at someone in their sports bra. Like, who fucking wouldn't? Do you know what I mean? If you're a lesbian and you're in a room full of girls getting changed, like, you're going to have a little fucking look. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't mean you're, like, a weirdo. It's not even like you did anything, like, you didn't do any touching or anything like that. So, yeah, the school really let you down there, because they should have, you know, taken your side of the story into account and been like, they should have thought, how can we make this work so everyone's happy, not you now having to, like, get changed for PE, like, in the fucking toilets or something, like, away from all of your friends and stuff like that. That's awful, and I'm so sorry, like, that you went through that, because that's so shit for you, like, and I bet you felt so, like, fucking shitty, and then, like, going into PE, going into any lessons, like, I remember when I was at school, there was this, like, rumour about me that got spread, and it kept getting, like, worse and worse. It started off that, like, I fingered myself in a classroom, in a lesson. I mean, who the fuck would do that? And it got, like, so much worse, and I remember just, like, walking around school feeling like everyone's eyes were on me, everyone was judging me, and it was horrific. Like, it made me not want to go to school, like, because of this. So I don't know if you're still in school, if, like, this was years ago and, like, you're completely over it now, but I feel like if you're still in school, like, you need to, like, fight this and be like, this is literally homophobic. Like, you can't kick me out the changing room because I'm a lesbian. Like, that's not how life works. Like, God, when I was at school, our fucking, like, male PE teachers sometimes, like, poke their head around the door, like, right, girls, come on. It's like, get the fuck out. You're a grown-ass man. Like, get the fuck out of the girls' changing rooms. We were all convinced one of our PE teachers was a lesbian. I feel like that's, like, a stereotype, isn't it? They're like, oh, your PE teacher's lesbian, like, you go in the girls' changing rooms, you watch them play netball or whatever it is. It's funny saying that, actually. I think I've told you all this before, but there is a film called Blue Jean that I was an extra in, which is all about a lesbian PE teacher back in the day, sometime back in the day, I don't know when. And that sort of, you know, it was was it like some, like, Thatcher's law where, like, you were not allowed to be gay and work in a school, so she had to, like, hide her sexuality, and then she had a new student come who was gay, and then they, like, saw each other at a lesbian bar one night, and she was like, you can't tell anyone you've seen me here. And it's, like, a whole story about that, and I think it was on BBC the other day, so try and find it. It's called Blue Jean. It's a beautiful, beautiful film, like, incredible acting, like, such a masterpiece, and really moving, like, really makes you think and really makes you feel, like, and feel grateful for how lucky we are to be able to be lesbians in any jobs nowadays. Like, when back then she would have got fired if, like, people found out. I think in the film she does get fired and then gets a job back. I don't really remember it. I only watched it once, but I want to watch it again. What was the point of me saying that? I don't really remember. That was a tangent. But yeah, basically, like, you should fight this, or you could have fought this, or you can fight this if you're still going through this, because I feel like that is just so unfair for them to not even, like, hear you out. Like, and it's the fact that you came out as a lesbian, and then they're like, oh, you're making me feel uncomfortable. And it's like, but if you didn't know I was a lesbian, would you be saying that? Probably not. Do you know what I mean? So I'm so sorry that you've went through that, but I hope that you're able to just, like, move on and deal with it. But yeah, guys, we are going to wrap up this week's episode there. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone for listening, for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTubey things. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, make sure you download, turn on notifications so you know every time an episode comes out. It's the same time every week. It's a Thursday. They come out at midnight. So if you want to listen at midnight, be my guest. If you want to listen at 5 o'clock the next day, I don't care. Whenever you listen, I'm so, so grateful. We always seem to get a lot of listeners on a Saturday. Like, Thursdays is always a peak day, and then Saturdays is always a peak day. I don't think we've had too many today. Should we have a look? Yeah, Saturdays and Thursdays are always, like, a peak day. Yeah, not too many today. We've only had 14 today. Some days, like, Saturday the other week, there was, like, 82 downloads in one day. And I was like, what the hell? Like, it just blows my mind that people listen. So yeah, turn on notifications, leave us a review. I'd be so grateful for any reviews. I think it just helps, like, boost the podcast when people are searching, you know, if they're searching, like, a lesbian podcast, if they see the Lesbian Lounge come up and then they check the reviews, the more good reviews there are, the more likely they're going to be to listen, I guess. So yeah, just want to say a big, big thank you to everyone for listening, watching. Come join the Lesbian Lounge, come follow us on TikTok and Instagram, and get involved with the questions of the week. Make sure to send your dilemmas and questions and stories. No story is too small or not interesting enough. We accept all stories here, all length, all interestingness levels. Yeah, thank you so much for listening, and I will speak to you all in next week's episode. I love you all so much. Stay gay. Bye.